You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber Dice, but you can call us studs. I'm Blaze.
I'm Meech.
Money moves and fiscal tools is what we're getting into this week. So let's get into it. Homie, drop the beat. This is Two Studs in a Pod. We're just a couple of studs keeping it real, raw, and off the cuff. We welcome you to the show. Financial freedom is a goal that many of us have. Unfortunately, too many of us are not given necessary tools to accomplish this. This week, we're taking a look at some of the different money-making moves out there that can help you reach your goal of financial freedom. But before we get to the money, let's get into what's really good with you, homie.
Oh, what's going on, Pop Peeps? What's up, B? I'm chilling, back at work. This week I get to stay home Tuesday and Thursday, so it's a nice little break. I was able to get a lot accomplished personally. I'm always looking for that time. Yeah, that's it. Still studying, still passing certifications, and once I start making more money, I'll let y'all know what's going on with you.
Nothing much, working, same. Wifey's birthday is coming up, so gearing up for that, and gonna do it as best as we can, COVID style. You know what I'm saying? She's doing her school thing, so we probably won't get to party too hard since her birthday's during the week, but definitely gonna be trying to hit the grill, have some wine. You know what I'm saying? Hop in the pool
Right.
type of deal.
Yeah.
Hopefully this weekend, and with Labor Day and all that. So we'll see what we get to do. And, I'm still on the landscaping tip, moving rocks and things, you know what I'm saying? And setting papers and doing all that, just trying to get the yard nice. You know what I'm saying? It's looked crazy for a little while. But other than that, just been chilling and working and doing those type of things, homeowner shit.
Right.
But this week, we're going to hop into Green Peas, which is where we get into a few of the books, shows, other podcasts, trends, or whatever else new and exciting we've discovered or gotten into to help keep us amused and entertained. Meech, any good reads for the people?
Yeah, I always got reads. So I've been trying to study and retain all this information. So I've been reading some books about memory. This one book called Unlimited Memory.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. It gives you different memory techniques to remember things. So like there's like the body technique where you use like parts of your body to remember, like if you have to remember a list or something like that, or something that you already have stored in your long-term memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like your car, like I know what my car looks like, right? So you put something on the hood and you make it extravagant, and then it helps you to remember it. So it's actually been working. It's been helping me, with my test and all these certification exams and shit that I have coming up. And then another book that I'm reading is called Flow, which just talks about being in the mindset where everything just basically flows. I'm halfway done with it, but a lot of the other books that I've been reading have recommended this one and they spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
So far I feel like it's a lot of fluff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just feel like he's finding a bunch of different ways to stay focused. But I think this next part of the book he's going to give us examples and ways to actually stay focused on what we're actually supposed to be focusing on. So those are my recommendations for right now. What you been up to? Any podcasts, any shows you've been watching?
Yeah, definitely. Want you to keep me up to date on that focus trick because I think we could all use a little focus. But as far as shows and things like that, I definitely have been getting into some newer things. I'm watching a whole lot of Amazon Prime lately, and of course basketball. I mean, now that basketball is back,
Yeah.
and filling up my time with a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Go Heat. And the most recently, I watched a show called Banana.
Okay.
And Cucumbers is actually a gay show put on. It's a BBC show. Well, it's two different shows, and they're like sister shows. There's a Cucumbers is supposed to be no, yeah, Cucumber is supposed to be the one you watch first. I watched it out of order, but
Okay.
and it made sense to me. So I don't think watching it out of order is there's any particular order, but it was pretty it was pretty funny and interesting to see like the English way of gayness. You know what I'm saying? It's gay men, but still, it was
Yeah.
interesting to watch. Yeah, and then of course on the music tip, uh, that new Jay Z and Pharrell joint, the Entrepreneur joint, which
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, how awesome is that? Especially what we're talking about today. But
Yeah, that came right on time actually.
yeah, right. Like I
Like we
mean,
planned it with Jay. That's my homeboy.
yeah, right. I wish. I mean, whew, can you imagine? Just I would love to just be sitting in a meeting with like them brainstorming and seeing how that process actually goes because he's had failures but he's had a lot of wins, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean just even outside of rap and hip hop, but a man's with a Billy with a B. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, we definitely had some time to catch up on things since none of us are going anywhere still with this COVID mess going on. But let's get into what we got cooking this week in stewed peas. We're making it rain, well, at least trying to make it drizzle a little, and talking about the moolah, baby. More importantly, how to get it and what to do with it once you do. I don't know about you, but whenever I hear someone saying that now is the time to buy stocks, I'm all into it. Like right now, where they're saying the market is down. But outside of like knowing how to read the stock names and kind of sort of what that means, I'm not. I'm lost. Like I have no clue on what I'm doing with the stocks. And but personally, you know what I'm saying? Like I wish that I knew more because especially at times like this where they're saying that now is a good time. Um, More than the little education that I had when I was in elementary school. I wish I would know why, you know what I'm saying, and what to do with
Right.
now being a good time. Because it didn't make any sense then, and so now I'm just lost. But
All right.
I know that you, Meech, are like kind of into it. That's more so like your side of things. So
Yeah.
how did you even get into doing the stocks and like how simple is it? Is it simple?
Um, it's not, it's simple and it's not, right? So I've always been interested in multiple streams of income, and I just one day opened up a an account with like E-Trade or something like that.
Hmm.
And I didn't really understand it. I started watching videos and I got really confused. I invested a little bit of money into Tesla actually. At that time I think I paid 100 and something for it. Now it's like 2 grand or
Yeah,
something
I was about to
crazy,
say it's
right?
worth like thousands of dollars now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I just kind of let it go. And then I was talking with my old coworkers at my last job and I was like, yo, I think, now's the time to get into stocks, and we kind of made a game out of it. So, anytime there's competition, I feel like people put a little bit more effort into something.
Hmm.
So we kind of fed off of each other. We were learning different things, and of course, I was winning by percentages. So I ended up winning the game, but we were investing real money. So I think it's difficult because people look at it as like a big whole thing, and I need to have thousands of dollars to invest. But that's not true. So nowadays there are like apps like Robinhood, Stash, Acorns, Stockpile that you can invest in, and you can invest in fractional shares. So like if you only have $5, you can buy $5 worth of Tesla.
Hmm.
So what you have to really pay attention to is the percentages, not really the dollar amount, right? So if you have $5 in your pocket, you're not making any money on it. If you have $5 in the bank, depending on your interest rate, you're making like 0.001 cents a year on the money. But in the stock market, if you invested in something like Tesla, you would have, with only $5, you would have gotten like 785% or something like that for the year. Which is, if it's only $5, it's not a lot of money, but it's still more than you had before. So
Right.
I think websites or apps like Stash and Robinhood, are really great for that. Robinhood just started allowing people to invest in fractional shares. So basically, like you can buy whatever amount you have, even if you only have a dollar, you can buy a dollar worth of a stock.
Hmm.
So that's just, like that's the buying part of everything. But yeah, so it can get more complicated. You can buy options, which is it still confuses me. I'm not really sure how to watch, how to buy options and sell options, but that's another another way that you can trade stocks.
Hmm.
But I think, for the me and you, for the average person, the best way to get in is just kind of buying like the fractional stocks. They have a lot of education on these apps and these sites. And they also have paper trading, which is where you can trade with fake money. So if you don't really feel like you're ready to gamble with your own money, you can play around with these paper trading sites, gamble with fake money, and kind of learn how the stock market works. And that's pretty much what I did in the beginning. And there was like a 15-year-old girl who started doing that, and now she's like a millionaire because you can have custodial accounts. So it's something that, like if you have kids or stepkids, or if you're a stud baby daddy and you want to teach your kids, they have custodial accounts. So it's like the app Stockpile is really good for teaching kids because it has pictures
Mm.
of the stocks. You know what I mean? So most kids don't know, MCD is McDonald's, but they see a picture of the McDonald's stock. They'll be like, okay, I want to invest my allowance, or, whatever. I got Christmas money. You can teach them, put 10% of your money into the stock and watch it grow. Like you want a game, you always want your parents to buy everything. Like, why don't you try earning it yourself? And then this way you're learning and you're teaching, because we all know the best way to, or one of the best ways to learn is to teach.
Hmm.
So,
That's how you know when you really have something is when you can teach somebody else how to
right.
do it
There's
or
a lot
teach
of
them about it.
options out there.
Yeah. I definitely that's something that would be interested in learning. The thing that I've more so gotten into with investing now that I have something to invest is like peer to peer lending and things
Okay.
like that. It's tricky too, but I feel like it's less. And there's risk. I mean, there's risk involved with everything, right? So the
Yeah.
higher the no risk, no reward, right? The greater the risk, the greater the reward. But um, I feel like with the proper research, I guess that's the same thing that's true of stocks is with the proper research. You make a good little. It's just like a little asset, a little passive way to make money. Have your money making money. Like I hate money just sitting there
Right.
not doing any work. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely something that I got into. But I would love to be able to do stocks. But like you said, people will get paid off of that. Like anybody who invested in Amazon early or
Mhm.
Tesla early, like you said, even in Google, you know what I'm saying? Alphabet,
Right.
any of the alphabets, what they meant you would have cashed out right now. Like you could cash out right now. And
Yeah, you could cash out and be living pretty good.
yeah, or you could like partially cash out and just let that shit
Yeah.
ride. Cause
Yeah.
I mean, to look at how much it's worth now is like crazy. But now knowing that they have fractional shares, see, that's something I didn't even know. Like I have Robinhood, but I'm sure they sent me like a notification because that's a big
Yeah.
deal. It sounds like, but I mean, outside of like I said, knowing what certain tickers are, and then maybe like I know some people who talk about stocks. So if I hear them in a conversation and I am watching it and it gets to something a price I'm comfortable with, then I might buy it. But I mean that's as much as I know as far as
Right.
about stocks. How to read the thing, but what it means that's a different story.
Yeah. I mean, Robinhood just started with the fractional shares, which is dope. And they also have crypto on their site, on their app or site. You can use either one, which is pretty dope because you can learn about cryptocurrencies, you can
Mhm.
learn about stock market fractional shares, or you can buy full shares of stock. So actually, I think I bought like some stock for like a dollar, and now it's at $20.
Uh,
So, and that was the full stock. So there's options out there, but I recommend like doing your research on the company. In the app, it shows the past, how they've done financially, where they're projected to be. You can even listen in on the calls, on the quarterly calls that they have, even
mhm.
if you only have like 50 cents of the
Yeah,
stock.
I've done
So,
that before. Like it probably was Robinhood telling me that they're having their meeting or whatever, and do I want to listen Do I want to listen in? Because I'm a
Yeah,
shareholder, so I have the right to listen in. Um,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, but that and then real estate. Real estate is something else that I'm
Mm-hmm.
investing in. So I just bought my first rental property, which I'm excited about.
Woohoo,
Going through the
congratulations, homie.
motion.
That's right. Let's do
Thank
it.
you.
All right.
Yup. I'm trying to told you. I'm working on the multiple streams of income. I'm trying to retire in a couple years. I'm not trying to do this work forever.
That's right.
But yeah, so I mean I think that's an option also. There's a couple different ways that you can make money in real estate. Not just through rental properties, but you can flip, you can wholesale. There's a lot of information out there, and most of us are in our phones, which are mini computers, like all day. So you know, when you finish listening to the Two Studs podcast, flip over to, a YouTube channel or read an article while you're listening about how you can make some more money and make this money work for you and stop working for the
Oh,
money.
see, and now that you said that, you just gave me the flash. Queer Money podcast is a good listen to, and they have good advice about financial finances and money and things like that. Queer Money podcast. That is a new podcast that I should have mentioned when in our last segment, but definitely a good listen if you're in the mood to, to hear somebody talk about money, which I often like to hear.
Yeah, I'm always down to hear about money.
Talk that talk. That's right.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to go. Especially like there's a bunch of things. There's things that are always coming out. Like I see people talking about when you mention cryptocurrencies. I also know the bitcoins and then the
Mhm.
forex trading and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's ways out there, but like everything comes with a risk. I prefer, like you said, real estate. Like that's something that, I mean, we've spoken about this in the past. Getting
Right.
properties and um, building like that through real estate and owning land. I mean, land is something that they can't make any more of. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yep.
So once it's yours, as long as you pay for it, pay them taxes. Trust me,
For real.
they coming for it if you don't pay them taxes. No matter whether you have a mortgage or not. Believe that.
For real.
Yeah. So definitely make sure you do your research. You know what I'm saying? But there's ways to have your money make money, even the smallest amount. Like me said, you know what I'm saying? $5, $1. Just look into them. But before you invest in anything, whether it's stocks or peer-to-peer lending or real estate. Or any other kind of investments like CDs with the banks. I know those are kind of they seem kind of old school, but
Yeah.
certificate of deposits. I know that's something that's still, and it's like a way to save because you don't. Once you have your hands on the money, a lot of times it's easier to spend it. So that's a way to like have the money is yours, but it's not yours until that date comes, and then at least you've earned a little bit of interest, and you didn't have your hands on the money to be able to spend it.
Right.
So that's a way to save if you're not disciplined enough to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, like if you are gonna save your money in a bank, check out different banks and check out savings interest rates, right?
Yeah.
So I had my money in one bank and then I noticed that another bank was offering like a whole percent more
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
savings.
Yeah.
So I switched all my money from one bank savings to another bank savings. So, you should have your money in multiple facets, I guess,
Spots.
so you can have some
Yeah.
spots. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So multiple spots, so you can have some in a savings account, some in stocks.
Yeah.
You want to diversify.
Yeah.
You don't,
That's the
because
key
if
word right
anything
there.
happens, right?
Diversify. Yes.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
anything happens to the stocks, you don't want to lose all your money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if the banks go down, you don't lose all your money. So diversify where your portfolio, where you're putting your money.
Yeah. I agree. I
Multiple
have.
streams in.
Yeah. I have multiple, and like definitely one gets me the higher rate of holding my money there. So then that's the one that gets to hold all my money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I mean, and online, what we have at our fingertips is so much at an advantage than the people of our past.
Facts.
Because everything is online. You don't even have to go into a brick and mortar bank anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can have an online bank, and It's just as effective. It's the same thing. Like I haven't been inside a bank since I bought this house. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like that's been a long time. I don't have to go to the bank. Everything can be done online, which you know so can the researchers to finding out which bank will give you the better percentage rate on saving any kind of money, whether it come from your checking account, um, just sitting there, and they give you a percentage on that. Some banks also do that. I recommend credit unions as well. Um,
Yep.
they're typically smaller and they'll work with you, especially when it's time for loans and things like that. So just be smart with it. That sound means it's time for Wild Peas, or the part of the show where we share and answer some of the most wild questions we've seen on the internet. This week's question is: my ex is using me, but I can't say no to her. Do I ghost her or just be straight up with her?
Ghost that bitch.
Yeah. Yo, you should have seen my face when I saw this question. I was like, is this even really a question? Like, are you really have to ask this question? Do you
I
ghost
feel like
her?
a baby stud wrote this. Poor baby stud.
It must have
Listen,
been. Listen, I was
ghost her.
I was good. I remember this flashed me back to the first time I ghosted the first chick I ever lived with her.
Mm.
Right? So I found out she was doing me wrong. And I was like, all right. So me and my homie's girl end up finding an apartment for us. Right? Originally, it was me and my homie's girl. We were finding an apartment for me and her because I needed to get out of this place with this cheating woman. And my homie's girl needed to find a place. So, she needed an apartment. So we were like, yo, we'll live together, split the bills, whatever, whatever. We were young, it was gonna be chill. Like my homie was gonna be over there all the time anyway. So it was like a
Right.
perfect situation. And definitely didn't have to worry about me doing nothing with her girl because her girl was not my type. Okay. Okay. So, it was like a really good situation. And anyway, so I found out this chick was doing me dirty. We set this all up behind her back because if she had found out what was going on, she would have kicked me out, and I would have been like stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Right.
had to be the perfect moment for me to make these moves. And my boss at the time was like a ex. He like had a crush on her from like a previous job that they knew
Oh
each
Lord.
other. Yes, it was drama. So
Mm.
he was like always reporting back to her. So I had to do this sneaky shit because I had to take a week off of work and not let her know. So I couldn't tell him because he would have told her like what the real situation was. So I had to
Right.
make it up like I was going on this trip with her. This the whole time or whatever. Anyway, so I ended up calling my mom. Yo, shout out to my mom. I ended up calling my mom and telling her, yo, I need you to come scoop me and all my shit and take me to your house for a week to hide out. And my mom lived far from where I was. So I was like, I need you to come scoop me, take me to your house for a week so I could hide out down there and then bring me back when it's time for me to move in to my new
Mom's is a
apartment.
rider, yo.
Yo. And my mom was like, all right. My mom showed up, yo. My mom was there, yo, straight up. So she was there at the door. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm sure. This fucking bitch, da 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 da. So my mom was like, all right. So I packed up all my shit. Yo, this was even petty time. I even took the shit. I put in the refrigerator and everything. Like, I took all that shit. And I packed my shit up in the packed the shit up in my mom's whip and banged it while homegirl was at work. She didn't know
Oh
nothing.
damn.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Ghost, okay? Straight up ghost. I was like, yo, I'm out. Yo, she called and called and called. She didn't know where my mom's lived, so she couldn't it's not like she could come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
and then that was that. Like that was a tie right there. But ghost that bitch, okay?
Moral of the story, ghost her.
Yes,
She's an
okay.
ex and she's using you?
Yeah, for
She
real.
got
Like she's an ex. You don't owe her shit, bro. Fuck that.
facts.
And this was the girl I was with at the time, like, nah. If I could do that to her, you could definitely ghost your ex.
Facts.
If you would like to submit a question for Wild Peas, please shoot us an email at twostudsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. And on that note, we're going to end the show here. Don't forget to follow Two Studs in a Pod on Instagram and Twitter at Two Studs in a Pod. To catch a glimpse of us behind the scenes, find Meech on IG at the Homie Meech and at Homie Meech on Twitter. And for me, it's at its.me.blaze on IG and it's me Blaze 2 on Twitter. Two Studs in a Pod is streaming on major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and now you can catch us on TuneIn. As we always say, gratitude is the attitude. So thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Sayonara, bitches.